Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking time to join us today for yet another edition of the 1 month professional diploma training, peace and conflict management. Today is the seventh day of the training. We have started since October 1st, and today we are going to continue from where we start. Is conflict management. It's 1 month free professional diploma training being provided by the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. This course is provided for free for our members who are following us on Facebook and on YouTube. So the aim is to empower them with the skills and knowledge necessary to make peace possible in our societies. So that's why we are doing this, so that the message of peace can be spread all around. And the only way we can do that is only when we educate people. People know what peace is all about. They know what conflict is all about, and they can make efforts to promote peace and also do everything possible to prevent conflict. But without the idea of what conflict constitutes, without the idea of what peace constitutes, it may be difficult for them to promote peace and also to prevent conflicts from happening. So I would like to welcome all of you who have taken time to be part of this training today. It's a pleasure to see all of you here. And we hope that you are going to be part of all that is going to happen today, and you ask questions where questions are needed. And for those of you that are in a WhatsApp group and have not joined our small groups, please make time to join our small groups so that you can participate effectively in your individual groups. So we hope that you will contribute to make your presentation possible. So that is all we want to say for now. So now, for now, I'd like to welcome all of you once again to today's training. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me now? Yeah, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Yes, I have been notified that the network is quite. My voice is not clear. I've been notified that the voice is not clear, but let me know if the voice is clear now, so I will proceed. Okay, from what I can see from the comment section, the saying is clear now, so we can proceed. So we are going to proceed right away. So if you join us, do wait to share the link with someone, put it on your wall, let them know that something like this is going on and it's for free. And I saw somebody from Uganda who was tapping to invite some of uh, his who have friends to join the training, telling them that it's free. And of course, maybe they have done the program in a university somewhere and they see this as an opportunity for them to upgrade. And so it's a good thing to know that everyone is here now. So just you can share it with someone, invite them to have time to be part of what we are doing. All right. So now I want us to look at a very important topic today, and that's we're looking at Unit 3 of Module 2. Unit 3 of Module 2, and we're looking at peace building and reconciliation. Peace building and reconciliation. You know, most of the time people view peace building as an event that takes place after conflict, but it is not necessarily like that. Peace building can before, during, and after conflict. You understand? So that is to say that before conflict occurs, peace building activities can take place. And when conflict occurs, peace building effort can still take place during the conflict. And of course, peace building can also take place after the conflict. Do you understand? So peace building is a continuous process. It doesn't start and end today. It's a continuous process. You may feel that you are in peace only to discover that you woke up into conflict. So you don't sit and relax because you're enjoying peace today. You never can tell when conflict will arrive. Do you understand? When the conflict between Russia and Ukraine was becoming so serious, countries like Poland, countries like Poland began to prepare because they never knew if what is happening now will, affect them. Do you understand? So they began to prepare. So it means that even when you are in peace, it does not mean that you should sit and relax. You continue to make effort to do the things that you have been doing that you are enjoying peace. Do you understand? To continue to do the things that you have been doing that you are enjoying peace, to continue to do them. Make efforts, bring infrastructure, create job opportunities, reduce poverty continuously. These are the things that will guarantee peace. So, and those activities, those developmental activities are, you know, peace building efforts. You understand? So they will reduce the chances of conflict being occur. But when you forget, you don't care about the unemployment rate, you don't care about the poverty issue, you don't care about economic difficulties that people are going through, you don't care about injustice that are going through, people are going through, you don't care about um, conflicts that are happening, kidnapping, insecurity issues that are going. I can guarantee you that sooner or later you will begin to experience real war. Do you understand? So that is the reason why it is important for us to build peace continuously. Peace building effort is a continuous effort. So, and when conflicts arrive, it is not a strange thing you have been expecting. That's why you were doing something like to prevent it. So when it arrives, it will not be difficult for you to be able to work it out and resolve it. Do you understand? So peace building efforts must be in place at all times. Whether you are enjoying peace today, if your country is in peace today, don't sit and relax. Continue to do things that will prevent conflicts from happening. You understand? Because we all know that where peace is, conflict will find its way there. And where conflict is, peace will always find its way there. So never forget this thing. You understand? So that's what it means. So, but what is peace building? All right. What is peace building? Let's look at some some definition we have here. So what is peace building? So you continue to do everything possible to maintain peace in your community. Even if your community is enjoying peace today, don't over relax, right? Because something is going to come that it may come unexpectedly. If care is not taken, you may not be expecting. You feel that who could come and do something like this in this community? You understand? So peace building and reconciliation are very essential for resolving conflict and fostering sustainable peace. So peace building involves creating the conditions necessary for lasting peace. Creating the conditions necessary for lasting peace by addressing structural issues. All right. So if you look at this, these are these are activities that you are going to do. These are activities that you are doing when conflict is not yet there, or when that is you are trying to address some of these issues that are likely to cause conflict. Do you understand? So you try to address them. Like peace building involves creating the conditions necessary for lasting peace by addressing what structural issues. Now, rebuilding institutions, and fostering social cohesion. This is what peace building is all about. Rebuilding institutional reforms is necessary. When things are not just going on well with the institution, just reform it. All right. When President Tinubu decided to have a Ministry of Regional waiting, and people were comparing, I say, but why are we comparing? Instead of having just Ministry of Niger Data, I think it's better that we have the ministry. I think it is in the right place so that there's a ministry coordinating all the regional, you know, all the regional commissions that handle regional developmental issues. You understand? We have the South, that's the Niger Data Development Commission, which is basically for the South. We have the Northeast Development Commission, which is for the Northeast, and then we have, I come to also realize that we have the Northwest Development Commission. Do you understand? And then we have, I don't know, we have North Central. You understand? But we have the Northeast, we have the Southeast Development Commission. It seems to me that these two are recently created. That's Northwest and Southeast. I bet they are recently created, and that's why they created a ministry of the regional whatever, so that there's one ministry coordinating all these commissions. And I think it makes sense. It makes sense to me. Do you understand? Instead of just having Ministry of Niger Data, that was quite being narrow. Do you understand? So that kind of reformation is needed so that other individuals will also feel carried along. Do you understand? So it's very, very important. Very important. There's nothing wrong about it at all. There's nothing wrong about it. All right. So institutional reform. So rebuilding institutions and fostering social cohesion. All right. So now, what are the key components? Let's look at some of the key components of peace building. What are the key components of peace building? Key components. All right. We have institutional reform, something that I just mentioned now. Institutional what? Reform. Reforming political, judicial, and security institutions to make them fair and accessible. We wanted to have electronic voting in Nigeria at some point in time, but you know, A lot of things went wrong. Just everything went wrong. All the efforts young people were making to make sure that we have electronic voting so that the issue of conflict or political crisis, or whether during or after, will be reduced, yet we did not achieve it because of so many misinterpretation, or so many, I can say, misinterpretation of the law. You understand? The judiciary just give a very sad interpretation of what was portrayed to be an electronic voting. Do you understand? So, and those who want it favors them, and then it goes. So it's like we have to put in more effort again to make sure that we have what we call electronic voting, regardless of whatever. You understand? So it makes everybody weak, but institutional reform is very, very important. Do you understand? It's very important. So political reforms, like political parties, also need to be reformed. Some of them don't have any ideology. Some of them allow the issue of cross carpeting. Nobody should cross carpet. Just if you decide to be in APC, be in APC. If you decided to be in PDP, be in PDP. Okay. In the US, we have the Democrats, we have the Republican. Yes, we have other political parties, but these are the popular ones. We have independent candidature. Do you understand? And people stand for election, whether they are being heard of or not, but they are there and they remain in their parties. Do you understand? At least they can join the popular ones and then collaborate and form a government. So it's possible. So, but we need to reform our political situation. Also, security institutions need to be reformed because the productivity of the security architecture in this country, like in our country, is not quite okay. So even in your own country, if the security architecture is not giving you the result you want, it should be reformed. There's nothing wrong about that. There's nothing wrong about it. So you can reform the institution and make them function better. Because sometimes you discover that this, in our own situation here, at some point, the security institutions were being accused of colliding with what? With the bandits or with Boko Haram uh, terrorists. So these are the issues. So you need to, that's the reason why you have to reform, so I can make them function better. All right. Then we'll talk about economic development. Yes, you have to provide infrastructure, social amenities, all right? Build schools, reduce poverty, reduce inequality. Let people have something to eat. Let people not be going hungry, because a hungry man is an angry man. So if he's hungry, don't expect him to promote peace. He's not looking in the angle of peace. It's only people who have money that don't want trouble. They want to just stay and enjoy their money. But somebody who doesn't have money is already angry. Do you understand? So you want him to promote peace. How? He cannot do it. All he wants is trouble. So maybe from trouble he can earn a living. You understand? So don't expect him to promote peace. That's why some of them, if they say, some people say they are protesting against bad governance, they are a group that will counter the protesters because they want to get something. You understand? Because they are hungry. But somebody who is not hungry, all right, cannot accept to go and protest against the protesters. It doesn't. It's only in my country that I used to see something like that. People are going out to go and protest. You go to go and protest against them for coming out to protest against bad governance, and you that you are going to protest against them. In fact, those that are protesting, they are even better off than you. So what are you protesting against? So, but this is the reality of things. So, economic development will help to reduce, take people out of poverty, create, you know, job opportunities, provide social amenities such as schools, hospitals. Do you understand? Where people can live where. You understand? And so they may not be thinking trouble. Nobody will think about what you have or not. That's why Iceland is the most peaceful country in the world. Why? Because these things are provided and everybody can afford these services. Do you understand? There are opportunities and they are doing well. So there's no trouble. The prisons are not working. The judicial system don't have any issue. Do you understand? Because nobody's causing trouble. Do you understand? So these are the issue. So education and awareness. So education and awareness. So you have to provide education that promotes peace and tolerance. So for us, this is what we are trying to achieve here. But aside what we are doing here, institutions, educational institutions like school, right from primary to tertiary, should provide some, awareness, some kind of educational system. In our high institution, we see cultism, see a lot of wholesome activities going on in our higher institution. So there should be no place for cultism in our universities, in our polytechnics, in our colleges of education. Do you understand? We don't need them. So young people can focus on their studies and come out in flying colors and make our society better. Some of them do cultism in school. When they finish from school, when they manage and finish, all right, they go and join politics and become political talks. Do you understand? So we don't need to do that. So education and awareness is very key. So we are also educating at the same time creating awareness. By next year, we'll go deep into this awareness, reach out to communities, carry out research, conduct documentaries on issues that are going on in our communities, do a lot of things. So, and maybe you are going to be part of what is going on. All right. So maybe we are going to also form alumni. All right. I think from going forward, we're going to form alumni. That is to finish this training. We're going to create a Telegram group. Telegram group can take as many as thousands of people. Do you understand? So we're going to create a Telegram group so that when you finish this training like this, we'll add you in that group. All right. We'll add you in that group so that we can know what is happening in your own country as well. Maybe we can collect a kind of database. You can also carry on some research, look at what's happening in your country, the kind of conflict that is going on in your country, or injustice that's happening in your country. We may be getting those kind of reports so that maybe in your country, we can also try to create a center so that we can be working together all around to make sure that we have peace globally. Do you understand? So, and we start from being an alumni so that we can put our effort together, we can put our knowledge together, we can put our skills together, and then see how we can reach out to many people and resolve problems in our communities. I think that is going to be a good idea. If it's going to be a good idea, let us know because we were just considering it today. And so, okay, some people are saying it's a good idea already. I get a point now. So it's a welcome development. So we can work together as a team globally, all right? So that we can put our heads together, put our knowledge together, put our understanding together, and solve problems globally. So it's going to be a good idea. So, and people are concording here already. So thank you very much. So we're going to work towards it. We'll create a Telegram group and then we'll call it alumni group so that all of us can be part of that and then work together and see how we achieve peace in our world. So that is what we're going to do. So thank you very much for supporting the idea. So that is education and awareness. Then community involvement. Community involvement. The problem is in the community. When we are talking about community, we are not talking about village, because sometimes when we talk about community, people mistake it to be village. No, in the city where you are, in your estate, in the city, in your estate, that is your community. Do you understand? So engage the community there. All right. So where you are, like for instance, now let's take it for instance now. Like I am in Amak. Okay, okay, Abuja municipal council. That is what they call it. Municipal council, that is Abuja, the central local government in Abuja. That is where we are, municipal council. And that is the main local government in Abuja, right? They have five or so area council in Abuja. Now, in this main local government, there are still settlements. We call them differently. You can call them Lugbe, Metama, Asokoro. Do you understand? You can call them Chabi, and so many others. Do you understand? So we can call them Soka, we can call them Sabon Lugbe, we can call them Ako. So me, I'm in Ako estate, for instance now. So in that estate is my community. So I have to engage them. So community involvement. So it's very, very important, because even in this community where we are now, there are security challenges. Young people are misbehaving. So why can't you engage young people? You understand? There may be avenues that you can reach out to young people, engage them, and then promote peace. You can decide to organize. They used to organize football activities around here. There are fields, so you can decide to organize a competition among the youth in the community here. You understand? And it will pass. You can call it a football. That is a peace game. You understand? A peace match, and it will go a long way to pass strong message. So young people, when they come for the competition, before they play the ball, you pass the message of peace. You tell them the importance of living together in a community, and make them to understand that is the reason why we are creating this event. So before they start playing their ball, you pass the message of peace. At the end of the tournament, you give them award and encourage them. The award may even carry peace inscriptions. Do you understand? And it will go a long way to pass the message. So community involvement. So engage local communities in decision making. Right, creating opportunities for marginalized groups and encouraging a sense of shared responsibility. So people that are going through difficult situations, you can engage them. You can also reach out to them. People that are not doing well, you can reach out to them, give them support. You understand? So, like I said, next year we're also going to activate our humanitarians so that we can begin to reach out to people who cannot be able to take care of themselves. We can reach out to them. You understand? So let's look at reconciliation. Reconciliation. So what is reconciliation? Reconciliation focuses on healing relationships between conflicting parties or communities to create mutual trust and understanding. Reconciliation focuses on what? Healing relationships between conflicting parties or communities to create what? Mutual trust and understanding. So when you want to reconcile people, it means that they were once in good relationship before the enemy stroke. And now they are enemies. They are not, you know, they are not seeing eye to eye anymore. So you are making effort to reconcile them. That is, there is a problem. So you are making effort to reconcile them, bring them together to be one again. You understand? To go together again, to work together again, to trust each other again. So it's a process of healing, actually, reconciliation, because it has factors. It's embedded in factors that promote feelings, make you feel relieved from your pains. Do you understand? And then come back and say, despite all that has happened, we can still live together. We are brothers, we are sisters, we are people, we are Nigerians, we are Ugandans, we are Kenyans, we are, mention your country. Do you understand? We are South Sudanese. I know, you understand? So all of that. So what are the components of reconciliation? Let's look at components of reconciliation. One is truth telling. Truth telling. You understand? Truth what? Telling. So creating spaces for open dialogue and truth commissions, allowing victims and perpetrators to share their experiences and knowledge and acknowledge harms. That is, you give people enough venue to come. Tell us how you experience it, how you feel. You understand? That is, you say your right mind. That's, you say what is in your mind without being afraid of any victimization. So you say what is in your mind, how you feel. Have you ever seen a situation whereby you are trying to reconcile couples and maybe the wife says something to a point that she's crying and maybe hitting the husband, and maybe the husband just remain calm? Do you understand? Maybe the wife is angry, crying, and hitting the husband, hitting. Do you understand? So in this situation, the husband is just calm, not reacting anymore, not just doing anything, he's just calm. Do you understand? Because it is a process of reconciliation. The wife is expressing how she feels. Do you understand? So that's why the husband is so calm, because he understands what the woman is going through. Do you understand? The pains. So that's why he's calm. So maybe you that you are trying to reconcile, you say, Madam, calm down. I know how you feel, but just calm down, calm down, calm down. And then do you understand? So, but Madam will express how she feel. And then at the end of the day, the man will also express what happened and also acknowledge harm. That's acknowledge offenses, acknowledge the mistakes, acknowledge whatever. He will say, I'm sorry, and that I hurt you that way. I never knew that I was hurting you that way. So can you forgive me? And things like that. Do you understand? At the end of the day, they reconcile. Hug, go home smiling, problem resolved, marriage continues. Do you understand? That is so truth telling. So it happened in South Africa, it happened in Rwanda. Do you understand? People came, they express how they feel. During the appetite, this is what we're going through. Under these people were lying. But at the end of the day, reconciliation took place and people heal and then move on. Do you understand? So justice and accountability. So reconciliation is not just about tell us the truth, how you feel, that's all. No. Sometimes people have to take responsibility for their wrong, for their actions. and for their inactions. Do you understand? They have to take responsibility. That is what we say justice and accountability. Where necessary, then you can even find people. They can take responsibility. They can engage in community service just as a mark of to show that you serve a little punishment to show to maybe serve as a deterrent for others in future. Do you understand? So you have to justice and accountability so that somebody can feel more relief. Do you understand? No matter how we tell the truth, but sometimes if people do not take responsibility for their actions, then it's possible for someone else to say that, well, if it's like this, me too, I can go and do it. The reason why the Chinese are moving forward in technology, they are moving forward in terms of development, is because if they caught you as a corrupt leader, it's execution. Once you are being convicted as a corrupt or you stole money, execution. So do you understand? So they have no tolerance for corruption. But in a situation whereby in my country where you stole money and there's what they call a pre-bargain. They call it a pre-bargain. I'm saying go to EFCC, you see what I'm talking about. They say a pre-what bargain. It means that you stole 100 billion and you are willing to return what is called maybe 50 billion. The rest of the billions, you can eat it and go freely, nobody cares. That's why somebody stole 105 billion, he returned 45 billions. And we are not hearing anything about the matter again. So tell me why I will not go and steal. I will steal plenty. So that when they come, one will buy lawyer. Number two, we can also do a pre-bargain and also pay some other relevant individuals to make sure that nothing spoiled. Do you understand? So that at the end of the day, if I spent 20 billion, 30 billion, 50 billion out of 100 billion I stole, at least I still have 50 to enjoy my life. So why won't I still? Tell me. Oh, that is the truth. I can stay because I have a pre-bargain to come. Let's reason together. This thing, it. You know how our country work now, but I'm willing to return so amount because the other one I have spent it, I don't have it. So this is what I have. Maybe you can take it. Why you store money in container somewhere and keep? They check your account, they don't say anything about your spending money. Some foreign accounts, foreign banks put the money there. You understand? So somebody must take responsibility, must be held accountable for something. It will serve as a deterrent to others. Do you understand? To do the same thing. Forgiveness and empathy. So it doesn't matter how hot the situation is. You do what? Try as much as possible to forgive. It doesn't matter how painful it is. Forgive. Because sometimes if you allow yourself to be so bitter, if you allow yourself to be bittered towards somebody, certain things may happen to you. You know that bitterness is the root of witchcraft. So you are bitter to a point that you are becoming a witch or wizard. You begin to do terrible things because of bitterness. And another thing is that bitterness can also cause insanity. That is, you are so bitter to a point that you become mad. So does it worth it? Free yourself. That is, when you are bitter, you rather imprison yourself in the sense of bitterness. Do you understand? So it's better you forgive and release yourself from that cell and be free. That's why some me I made up my mind. I made up my mind. Right from time, I cannot hate anybody because it doesn't matter what you do. So far as you don't take my life, no, child. I can move on. Can move on. Can move on. I free easily. That is, I forgive so freely, like nothing. Do you understand? Nothing. Move on. So far as it's not my life that you touch, that's my life, nothing. If you like come and take this job that I'm doing, I don't care, I'll still move on. Do you understand? I can move on. I can move on, go my own thing. Forgive and move. Forgive and move. I'm not saying you should come and offend me, no. Gosh. The offender too will suffer. That's what they say, woe to those that bring offenses. So don't come and offend me. So that there will be no woe to you. So that's it. So, but what I'm saying is that we don't wish offenses to come, but when they comes, what do? Forgive and move on with your life. Don't tie yourself down in bitterness. Because when you are bitter, you don't think straight. And then another aspect is try to also put yourself in the shoes of others. If I am the one, how will I respond? How will I react? If I were the one that this very thing was done to me, how will I react? So when you ask this question, how would you have reacted if it were you? Then it will help you to know that the reaction of somebody was just equal to what you would have also done if it were you. Do you understand? So forgiveness and empathy is important. So encouraging forgiveness can be a profound step, right? But let it be voluntary. Nobody should be forced to forgive. It should be a voluntary thing. Voluntary to forgive. Cultural and religious programs. So many peace building organizations work with local leaders to create programs that foster understanding and unity across cultural or religious divides. Interfaith programs. Do you understand? We can organize interfaith programs, discuss our differences and promote peace. You understand? Because we are in multicultural societies, multi-religious environment. So let's look at some concept of peace building. Concept of peace building. Let's look at some concept of peace building. So there are several concepts, all right, aimed at promoting peace, right? Promoting peace building activities, and then of course sustainable peace. And some of those key concepts include conflict prevention. Conflict what prevention. So the goal is to identify and address potential sources of conflict before they escalate into violence. So something is happening in the community. Don't just wait for it to turn into violence before you respond. No. Work towards identifying such issues, address them. Inequalities, address inequalities. Poverty, address inequalities. Don't allow poverty to push young people into the street to protest. because it will cause more destruction, it will cause more disorder, it will cause more death. So what do you do? Prevent. Identify those flash points, right, to address them. So this involves early warning system, diplomacy, mediations, and grassroots effort to address grievances. It can include political, economic, and social reforms to resolve issues that could lead to conflict. Reconstructions and development. Reconstruction and development is another term or concept in peace building. So the goal is to rebuild the social, economic, and physical structures that may have been damaged by conflict, most especially armed conflict. So where we have issue that has to do with armed conflict that damage or destroy infrastructures, there will be need for reconstructions, all right? Construction. So the approach is to include rebuilding infrastructures, reviving local economies, providing basic services like health, education, sanitation, and fostering employment opportunities. So these are the things. So we have to do, reconstruct and recreate some of these things so that people can be engaged, so that they can recover quickly from the devastating experience of conflict. You understand? We have good governance or governance and rule of law. Governance and what? Rule of law. So to establish fair, accountable, and inclusive governance system. Fair, accountable. So let government be fair. Let government be accountable, and let government, uh, be inclusive. Carry everybody along as much as possible. Let people have a sense of belonging in every government. Do you understand? By so doing, you'll be able to achieve peace. So approach is to strengthening legal system, reforming justice institution, ensuring the protection of human rights. Because when you abuse the rights of people, it can become a source of conflict. So nobody wants his right to be abused. Right? Nobody wants his right. Security sector reform. Security what sector reform. So to create professional and accountable security forces that protect rather than oppress citizens. Protect rather than oppress as well. So that's why we need to reform some of these security sectors. Some of them need to even undergo this kind of training so that they will know how to behave professionally. I'm not saying that they are not the security situation or the security institution are not doing well. They are trying their best, but they need to do some things differently. You understand? They need to do some things differently to make it better. So reforming police, military, and intelligence service to be inclusive, impartial, and accountable is essential in post-conflict environment. Impartial. The kind of security that will not force information. And so whereby you have an issue with the security personnel, and then they come and give stories and say that you were threatening them, or you remove a gun, or you carry a weapon against them, when there was nothing like that, and give reason why you receive kind of treatment you receive. All those things. So social cohesion and community building. We are looking at concept in what? Peace building, social cohesion and community building to rebuild trust and solidarity among diverse groups. One of the things that we need to do is to rebuild trust and solidarity, because that trust was broken since 1963. You understand? The trust. What we are because trust have been tampered with, and that is why since 1963 there are certain tribes that have not been given opportunity to govern this country, even though they have the population that requires such kind of opportunity. Why? Because the issue of trust was betrayed. And as a result, of course, there's a need for what? For rebuilding of that trust. And one way we can rebuild that trust is to reconcile, genuine reconciliation. Justice and reconciliation. So, to address past injustice and foster healings between opposing groups. So, you can even go back to history and revisit what happened, all right, and address the injustice that someone suffered, all right. And so, when you do that, there's this possibility that healing will take place, reconciliation will take place, and then there will be cooperation. Do you understand? So, but in situation whereby there is no reconciliation, there's no healing, cooperation will be very, very difficult. What you will always see is resistance. You meet individuals of recalcitrant attitude. They don't care. Economic empowerment and development. So to promote equitable economic opportunities and reduce poverty, which can fuel world conflict. So economic empowerment and development is very key. Very important. Equitable economic opportunities where people can earn a living, where people can survive, be engaged productively. You know, in China, every street of China is like there is an industry. People are being engaged. Some of them that choose to come and stay here with us. The lie is our minerals are carried them. So job creation, fair resource distribution, and development initiatives help address economic disparities, which can be sources of conflict. So do you understand? So education and public awareness. Education and public awareness. We'll still come back on this. So we are here promoting a culture of peace, creating awareness, making people to know what before now they may not have known. And that is the confession we have been seeing here. Some of you that in your testimonial, in your testimonials, you have been, you know, doing this. Tell us that you get to know things that you did not know. That's very important. And so we are motivated by those kind of testimonials, right? Because they make us know that okay, we are not wasting time. We are not wasting our energy. So dialogue and mediation to resolve differences through communication and compromise. So facilitating dialogue between conflicting groups with the help of neutral mediators can help both sides find common ground. It's very important. So dialogue. When we talk about dialogue, it's a conversation. Converse deeply into the problem. Ask questions, re-examine the issue, consider so many factors. Yes. Inclusivity and participation. How to involve all the stakeholders in peace building process. Long-term sustainability. So what are the plans? What are strategies in place to make sure that we continue to enjoy peace and to address conflicting situations when they arrive? You understand? So all of this matters. So those are the concepts in peace building. So we'll be looking at the role of reconciliation in post-conflict societies. Role of what? Reconciliation in post-conflict societies. Like we all know, reconciliation plays a very vital role in post-conflict societies by promoting healings, rebuilding relationships, and laying a foundation for lasting peace. Right? So that's what reconciliation means to us. So we have some roles that reconciliation plays. One is healing trauma and restoring relationship. One of the functions and the purpose of reconciliation is to help individuals and communities heal from the trauma and emotional scars left by conflict. So reconciliation will help you to get over past incidents that make you feel bad, that made you feel traumatized. So what is the approach? Through truth-telling initiatives, counseling, and public apologies. Reconciliation allows victims and perpetrators to acknowledge harm and begin the journey to healing. You understand? So you can see that honorable that apologize publicly, right? So it's very, very important. Promoting social cohesion. By fostering social cohesion, reconciliation encourages the rebuilding of trust and solidarity within and between and among communities. Establishing accountability and justice. Justice is a core element of reconciliation as it addresses the grievances and human rights abuses that may have fueled the conflict. So establishing accountability and justice. So when where people's rights were abused, let people be held accountable. You understand? Let people be held what? Accountable. Let them take responsibility of what happened. Let them be held accountable. And let justice be served. Encouraging forgiveness and empathy. Right. Preventing recurrence of conflicts. Yes, one of the purpose of reconciliation is to help break the cycle of violence by addressing the root causes of conflict and creating mechanisms for peaceful dispute resolution. So there may be conflict, there are separateness. But one of the goals of reconciliation is to make sure that those conflicts does not repeat or does not occur again. Building inclusive institutions. Reconciliation efforts often aim to create or reform institutions so that they reflect and serve all groups in society fairly. Transforming identities and narratives. Reconciliation transforms divisive identities and narratives that may have contributed to the conflict. So there are certain narratives that we receive that are not too good. Some people may want to tell the history, or they tell it in such a way that it suits them. And they pass that narrative to their own children. Children pass to the next generation, and then it becomes a norm, becomes a belief. Empowering local leadership and ownership. So you have to carry the community leaders along, carry everybody along. Let them know what's happening in their community. If they want it, they will cooperate with you. If they don't want it, they will tell you. Reintegrating former combatants. So institution whereby you have people who were fighting in the war and now the war is over. What do you do with them? You reintegrate them into the society, into the community. Let them also become part of the community. And but where they have to take accountability, they go and maybe serve 2 or 3 years jail term and come back and be reintegrated. That's when they'll go through rehabilitation process. Do you understand? And come back and you integrate them into the system, into the community. So that's what it means. So the last topic we are going to consider for tonight is transitional justice mechanism. Transitional what? Transitional justice mechanisms. Transitional justice mechanism. Transitional justice mechanism. Transitional justice mechanisms are processes and tools used by post-conflict or post-authoritarian societies to address past human rights abuses, promote accountability, and support reconciliation. That's what transitional justice mechanism stand for. So, transitional uh, justice and mechanism aim to achieve justice and help societies transition from a period of conflict or repression to one of peace and democracy. So transitional justice mechanism can take many forms. So we have some of them here that we're going to consider. Truth seeking, truth commission, to investigate and document past human rights violations, giving a voice to victims and raising awareness about the scope and impact of abuses. Do you understand? So you go conduct investigation in Borno to know what happened. We have this in South Africa, we have this in Rwanda, so we didn't want to go deep into it. Prosecution, I mean, it happened in Rwanda, it happened in South Africa. Truth seeking, that's truth commission. Prosecution, that is criminal justice, to hold perpetrators of serious crimes such as war crimes and crime against humanity accountable through formal legal process. Reparation, to provide compensation or other forms of redress to victims of human rights violations, acknowledging the harm they suffered. You have to compensate them. You have to restore. Sometimes it may be something that needs to be restored. Maybe someone took your land unjustly, so the land has to be restored. That is reparation. Do you understand? It has to be restored. Institutional reforms, to transform institutions such as the police, military, and judiciary that were complicit in past abuses into transparent, accountable bodies that promote human rights. Memorializations, memorialization, memorialization, and public acknowledgement. So to commemorate and honor the victims, preserving the memory of past atrocities to ensure they are not forgotten. Like the civil war that happened. I don't know whether there is anything in memorial to show that, okay, this is what happened in Nigeria. You understand? Amnesties. In some cases, amnesties may be granted to facilitate peace and reconciliation, especially if full prosecution of all perpetrators is impractical or could destabilize the peace process. So, amnesties. Grant them amnesty. Tell them, come, there's no problem, we're not going to prosecute you. Just come, show yourself, drop your arms, and that's all. You have been given what? Amnesty. So nobody is going to touch you, no matter what happens. Restorative justice program. Promote reconciliation and healing by encouraging restorative what? Justice. So everybody must receive a form of justice. All right. It's very important. Very important. So once we do this in our societies, we'll not have much problems. All right. But there are challenges and limitations, political constraints, resource limitations, balancing justice and peace are some of the challenges. But these challenges are surmountable and can be overcome. You understand? So this is much we can cover today. If you have any question, you ask. You have any complaint, you complain. All right. So this is the much we can go today. Any question? If there is no question, I will see you. So somebody's asking, how do memorialization help in peace building, knowing it will bring back the traumas? It may not bring back necessarily traumas. Once you are able to tell the truth and forgiving, and you raise a memorial, it only reminds people to avoid taking certain steps. Do you understand? It serves as a reminder to people that if you take certain steps, it will bring you back to this place. So it will give you this kind of pains. So it's rather help to prevent certain course of actions that may make people to take if they never knew what happened. You understand? I can tell you for sure that there are certain things that are in place that can, no matter what happens, certain steps may not be taken. Do you understand? Do you understand? So it's to some extent it may serve as a tool to prevent any steps that maybe one may take to provoke or create another opportunity for violence. So I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. And someone else is giving a response to that question here, that no memorial of any sort because the government didn't want the young generation to know the truth about the Civil War. They had to ban history as a subject, and that is very, very bad. Do you understand? We must tell our stories. We must tell our stories, and we can tell those stories in acts. Do you understand? In arts and culture, we can draw memorials. We can draw things. We can build memorials to show what happened. Do you understand? It's not by removing histories from the book or from ours. In fact, how can you remove history in the first place? How can we not tell our histories? We must tell our histories. We must tell our experiences. And that's the only way the young generation will know and try to avoid things that destroy us before. You understand? It's not by hiding, it's not by shying away from those things. It's by telling them. When we tell those stories, young people, children will learn and avoid those steps that nearly destroy the system or destroy the nation. Do you understand? So it's not by shying away. One thing our leaders don't know, and it's because maybe they don't understand, they don't have deep knowledge of what we're discussing here. If we understand, there's no need to shy away. Tell these stories, let them know, and then teach them lessons in these things. Do you understand? And this is why we want to start peace clubs in schools so that we'll tell some of these stories. We, we have a lot of plans, but the only thing we have as a limitation now is the financial resources. Once we have the right financial resources, we can hire the right people and begin to tell these stories. You understand? Right? We wanted to animate some of these stories. We animate them and share them with young children. Let them see what happens in time past and why they should avoid towing that path. You understand? It's very important. We cannot shy away from it. We must tell these stories so that young people will learn from it. So when somebody makes mistakes, say that we should remove history, they are not doing us any good. Not at all. Not at all. We must tell these stories. We must tell the stories of the country that happened in Rwanda. We must tell the stories of apartheid. We must tell all these stories. It's only when we tell those stories that anybody, it doesn't matter how 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 powerful is your tribe and how relevant, how influential is your tribe, you still avoid going throwing certain steps because it may not help at the end of the day. You understand? So it's very important that we tell those stories. Someone is asking, is it the same thing with November 10th every year in remembering King Sarawa by the Ogonians? Yes, because they stood for the truth, they speak the truth. Even though the system was against them, but they have to speak it out. And by celebrating and remembering what he did, he's a hero to the Ogoni people. Do you understand? And of course, they are reminding the young ones to know that even if you tell the truth, you stand for truth and you speak for truth, and even if you die, your effort is not in vain. You understand? So they are telling young people to know that you can stand and fight for justice, even if it takes your life. And that's why they are remembering that man and celebrating what he did. You understand? He spoke, he stand in the for, for truth, even though the system was against him, but he did what he could do for his own people. You understand? So that is it. And you will get the handout. I will provide handout in the course of the training. Put it together and give it to you. Yeah, we'll give you handout too. We'll give you handout in the course of the training. Don't worry, you'll have it. And then very soon I'm going to assign you topics. So if you cannot reach out to your group members, chat, just send a message in the ADR group. It's not on other group. Just go to ADR group. Should be you can access ADR group now. I think it's not locked. Go and ask the question there that anybody from group 19 should help you. And if it's about your certificates, if you cannot access them, reach out to me that you have problem with your WhatsApp. I know you very well, so I can help you to get your own certificate. So you don't need to be disturbing yourself. I'm talking to you, Mrs. Obi. I know you very well, so I know that you will not come and be lying to me. So if you are not reaching out to your group leader to get your serial number, I can get you a serial number and you get your certificate. So thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow by 7 p.m. And then of course, like the issue of the room and I will talk about. So we're going to create the group and then we'll start with even people that did training on ADR, people that did training on the peace and sustainable development, and those that are doing this training, so that they can be part of that group. And then we'll form an alumni and begin to work together globally, so that we'll have people representative from other countries and we'll be chatting because of peace globally, sharing ideas, transferring ideas and strategies, different places, and making them work for us. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.